The history of magic dates back to the earliest human civilizations, where it was perceived as a source of wonder and a cause for fear. The practice of magic was closely intertwined with religion and spirituality, and it was believed to have the power to connect humans to the divine. The earliest recorded instances of magic can be traced back to ancient Egypt and Babylon, where priests and magicians were held in high esteem, and they were believed to possess supernatural powers. These powers were attributed to the gods, who were believed to have given the priests the power to perform miraculous feats. Magic was also believed to have been used in the construction of the Great Pyramids of Egypt, where it was used to move massive stones and blocks. In ancient Greece and Rome, the practice of magic was also closely tied to religion and spirituality. Magicians were often seen as intermediaries between the gods and humans, and they were believed to have the power to manipulate the natural world. However, the practice of magic was also viewed with suspicion, and those who were suspected of practicing black magic were often persecuted. As Christianity spread throughout Europe, the practice of magic was seen as a threat to the established order. The Church viewed magic as a form of heresy, and those accused of practicing witchcraft were subjected to torture and execution. In Islam, magic is strictly forbidden, and it is seen as a powerful force that can cause harm to humans. The Quran explicitly states that magic is the work of Satan and that those who practice it are committing a sin. However, some Sufi mystics have interpreted magic in a more positive light, viewing it as a means of connecting with the divine. The Sufi tradition views magic as a way of experiencing the divine presence, and it is often used in their practices of meditation and spiritual ascension. In Hinduism, magic is known as Tantra, and it is seen as a way of harnessing spiritual energy in order to achieve specific goals. Tantra is often used in rituals and meditation, and it is believed to have the power to transform the practitioner's consciousness. Tantra is viewed as a means of connecting with the divine, and it is often used in the practices of yoga and meditation. In Buddhism, magic is also seen as a means of achieving spiritual transformation. However, unlike Hinduism, Buddhist magic is more focused on achieving inner transformation rather than external goals. Buddhist magic is often used in meditation and visualization practices to transform the mind and achieve a deeper understanding of the nature of reality. In African traditional religions, magic is often used for healing and divination. Traditional healers and medicine men are highly respected members of the community, and their abilities to heal and communicate with the spirit world are highly valued. In many African cultures, magic is seen as a way of connecting with the ancestors and the spiritual world. Despite the growing acceptance of magic, there are still many who view it with suspicion and fear. In some countries, the practice of magic is still illegal, and those who are suspected of practicing it can face persecution and violence. In some cultures, the practice of magic is still associated with witchcraft and black magic, and those accused of practicing it can face serious consequences, including death. In conclusion, the history of magic is long and complex, and it has been viewed differently by different cultures and religions throughout the centuries. While some view it as a way of connecting with the divine, others view it as a form of heresy or a dangerous and forbidden practice. It is important to recognize that the practice of magic is not inherently good or evil. Like any tool or practice, it can be used for positive or negative purposes, depending on the intentions and actions of the practitioner. As time progressed, the practice of magic became more sophisticated, and different traditions and schools of thought emerged. One of the earliest known magical traditions is Hermeticism, which originated in ancient Egypt and was later influenced by Greek philosophy. Hermeticism emphasized the importance of spiritual transformation and the attainment of higher consciousness through the use of ritual, meditation, and alchemy. In the Middle Ages, the practice of magic became more closely associated with Christianity, and many of the most famous magical texts of the time were written by Christian mystics and philosophers. One of the most influential of these was the Corpus Hermeticum, a collection of mystical texts that influenced both Christian and Islamic mysticism. In the Islamic world, the practice of magic was also highly developed, and many Islamic scholars wrote extensively on the subject. One of the most famous of these was the Persian philosopher and theologian Ibn Arabi, who believed that the practice of magic could be a path to spiritual enlightenment. In Hinduism, the practice of magic is closely tied to the concept of Tantra, which emphasizes the use of physical and spiritual practices to achieve spiritual enlightenment. Tantra is often associated with sexuality and the worship of the divine feminine, and it has been practiced in India for thousands of years. In China, the practice of magic is closely tied to Taoism, which emphasizes the importance of harmony and balance in all things. Taoist practitioners use a variety of techniques, including meditation, visualization, and ritual, to achieve spiritual growth and connect with the divine. Throughout history, the practice of magic has been both celebrated and condemned. In some cultures, magic has been seen as a source of wisdom and spiritual enlightenment, while in others it has been associated with evil and corruption. The history of magic is also closely tied to the history of religion, and many religious traditions have their own unique approaches to magic. For example, in Christianity, the practice of magic has often been seen as a form of heresy, and many Christian leaders have condemned the use of magic as a way of manipulating the divine. In contrast, some Christian mystics have embraced the use of magic as a way of connecting with God and achieving spiritual enlightenment. Similarly, in Islam, the practice of magic has been viewed with suspicion, and many Islamic scholars have warned against its use. However, there are also many Islamic traditions that embrace the use of magic as a way of connecting with the divine and achieving spiritual growth. In Hinduism, the practice of magic is closely tied to the concept of karma, which emphasizes the importance of personal responsibility and the consequences of one's actions. Hindu practitioners use a variety of magical techniques, including meditation, visualization, and the use of mantras, to achieve spiritual growth and connect with the divine. In recent years, the practice of magic has become more widely accepted, and there has been a resurgence of interest in the subject. Many people are turning to magic as a way of connecting with the divine and achieving personal growth and transformation. There are many different approaches to the practice of magic, and each individual must find their own path. However, whether one is practicing magic for spiritual growth or for practical purposes, it is important to approach the practice with respect and responsibility, and to use it in ways that promote healing, growth, and positive transformation. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like for more informative videos.